Welcome to Music with Mrs. Avery. Hello everyone, we are going to continue learning about rhythm. Let's start by reviewing our music notes brace mat that you created in our last lesson. Remember, this brace mat shows whole to part relationship. So we can see how the notes break down to equal 4 beats. So we will start here with our whole note, which we know gets 4 beats. But if we break down that whole note into equal parts, we get 2 half notes, and a half note gets 2 beats. So if we add 2 of them together, it equals 4 beats. Now, if we take 1 half note and break it down into equal parts, we get 2 quarter notes. Same with this half note. So now we see we have 4 quarter notes, and we can see that 4 quarter notes equal 4 beats, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. Next, let's look at how 1 quarter note breaks down into equal parts. We learned about the 8th note last time. And the 8th note has a head that's colored in, a stem, and then this little curved line, which is called a flag. And the 8th note gets half a beat. So 2 8th notes together equal 1 beat, equal the same as what a quarter note equals. So if we break down each of these 4 quarter notes, we would get 2 8th notes here, 2 8th notes here, 2 8th notes here, and 2 8th notes here. And we can look at this brace mat and see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8th notes equal 4 beats. We are going to start to compose more difficult rhythmic patterns. So for this next part of our activity, I would like for you to pause this video so that you can go and get a blank piece of paper and a pencil. Now that you've got your blank piece of paper and pencil, we will get started. On your blank piece of paper, I would like for you to draw a rhythm line with a bar line on each end, and then I'd like for you to add a 4/4 time signature. Once you have completed your first rhythm line, go ahead and draw a second rhythm line. So your paper will have 2 rhythm lines, each with a bar line at each end, and both of your rhythm lines will have a 4/4 time signature. We are going to compose rhythms using only half notes and quarter notes today. But we are going to work on mixing up those notes to create different and more difficult rhythmic patterns. When we do this, we have to know how many beats will fit in a measure. And remember, with our time signature, we look at the top number. So let's compose this first rhythm line. Using half notes and quarter notes, can we make a pattern of 4 beats? Let's start with 1 half note. So on your rhythm line, let's draw a half note. We know that a half note gets 2 beats. Well, if we can only have beats in a measure, and we already have 2 beats in a measure, how many more beats can we add to this measure? 4 minus 2 equals 2. That's correct. We can add 2 more beats. But this time, instead of adding a half note that gets 2 beats, let's add quarter notes. So if we need 2 more beats, how many quarter notes would we need to draw? 2. That's right, because 1 plus 1 equals 2. So now on your rhythm line, remember we space these out nice and neatly and they are all the same size. Let's draw in 2 quarter notes. If I am going too fast, please feel free to pause this video so that you can catch up. So we have a half note and 2 quarter notes. We know a half note gets 2 beats and our quarter notes each get 1 beat. So 2 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. And that's how we check ourselves. Great work. Now, let's practice counting our beats. We have practiced this before, but now it's a little bit more difficult when we have different notes in a measure. Remember, when we count our beats, we always start with beat 1. A measure will always start on beat 1. So this half note would start on beat 1. So we put our 1 underneath that half note, but we know a half note gets 2 beats. So it's going to sustain, remember that vocabulary word, hold out through beat 2. And our 2 is small. Then, which beat do we play this quarter note? That's right, beat 3. And then this quarter note, beat 4. Great job. So if we look at this and we want to play this rhythmic pattern, we are going to first play a half note, 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would you play that with me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Let's try it one more time. And this time, I want your eyes to follow the music. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So let's compose our next rhythm line. We are still going to use quarter notes and half notes. But this time, let's start with quarter notes. How many quarter notes should we start with? 1 or 2? Yell it out at me. 2? Okay. So let's go ahead and draw 2 quarter notes. Remember to space them out neatly. And remember, if you need to catch up, you can pause the video. So we know a quarter note gets 1 beat, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Well, we still need 2 more beats. So maybe we could use a half note. So let's draw in our half note. Great work. So let's check and make sure that we have 4 beats. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 is 4. Yes, we have 4 beats in our measure. Now let's write in our counts. Remember, we always start with beat 1. So So this quarter note will be B1. And this quarter note will be B2, yes. And then which beat will this half note begin on? That's right, B3. And it will sustain through B4. Yes, and our 4 is nice and small because that is the beat we sustain on. Great job. So now let's read this and play it together. So I want your eyes to follow the music. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that one more time. That was such great reading. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. So using the same notes, half notes and quarter notes, we have composed 2 completely different rhythmic patterns that are more difficult to play. And we will continue to create patterns using all of these notes in our upcoming lessons. You did a great job composing, counting, reading, and playing rhythmic patterns. For your assignment in Google Classroom, you are going to type in a mystery word. And the mystery word for this lesson is quarter note. So I would like for you to type in our mystery word, quarter note, and then you can turn the assignment in. Thank you for learning with me.